Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I want to talk about gold and what was just admitted by someone from the Dutch central bank, and it is extremely, extremely important. And the reason why it's important is because it shows you not only the sign of the times, but it shows you what's about to come in the future. When I say what's about, there's a bunch of people that think that means next week or next month. That does not mean that, okay? I'm talking about in the future, all right? We don't know when, but cracks are breaking, or cracks are forming in the dam like crazy. Everything from HSBC having issues with taking depositors' money, certain depositors. All the stuff going on with the Swiss central bank and with Credit Suisse, with the Japanese government, and so on. There's just so many cracks forming in the dam until it all opens up in deluges, right? The good news is you guys see that ahead of time. You see each one of these cracks, so you're the one walking away as everyone's like, what's that crack there? And they just like, that's interesting. Well, it doesn't affect me. And that crowd's forming around the dam, and you're just walking backwards going, guys, this is bad. It's going to weaken the dam, and you're leaving. So check this out. Governor of Dutch Central Bank states gold revaluation account is a solvency backup. Think about that just for a second. Gold revaluation is a solvency backup. Now, we're going to talk about how this parallels what happened in the 30s in the United States, all right? But it doesn't exactly parallel it because I do not believe you're going to see a gold confiscation. Why? Because if you own gold, you are literally part of the elite. You literally are the 1%. Only 1%. It's actually estimated to be less than 1% of the world's population owns any gold, okay? And most of it, excuse me, is held by central banks and very, very wealthy people. It's not going to get taken away. That's literally how the world works, all right? So you are part of the elite, so congratulations. It says right here, the governor of the Dutch central bank stated the gold revaluation account ensures the solvency of his central bank in an interview on television about prospective losses, all right? He's being talked to about prospective losses. He's not the only one right now. All around the world, governments and the people are starting to question their central banks and do you have enough money to backstop all these problems we're seeing in the economy? It says the significance of this statement is that if any central bank will cover losses by using its gold revaluation account in full. Now think about that. All right, I want you to think about that. What is a gold revaluation account, all right? The ECB has to put a floor under the gold price. And if more losses need to be covered than the current gold revaluation accounts of European central, And if more losses need to be covered than the current gold revaluation accounts of European central banks allow, the ECB will need to revalue gold. All right. Let's talk about this. I'm going to put the rest of this article because there's a lot of great information, but real quick, let me touch on this. A gold revaluation account is a solvency backup. It says a gold revaluation account, or GRA, I hate it how everything has acronyms these days, is basically an accounting item that records the unrealized gains of a central bank's gold. Because most of Europe's monetary gold was accumulated during Bretton Woods at $35 an ounce. So we're going to get into that, okay? So it was accumulated under Bretton Woods at $35 an ounce. That many of you are going, I wish gold was 35 bucks an ounce right now. It says the respective GRAs are substantial. Monetary gold in the Euro system is marked to market, and the gold price today is much higher than 35. Let me stop there. The same thing happens in the US. We're going to talk, so under Bretton Woods, gold was pegged at 35 bucks. Governments were buying gold. Can you imagine if central banks went out and bought gold at 35 bucks and they can't buy that now, right? After 1971, when Nixon closed the gold window, the convertibility of the dollar into gold was done. And but for a long time, central banks, way back, decades and decades and decades ago, were buying gold at $35, okay? Now, what happens is, of course, throughout the last half a century, at least, more than that, gold has been worth well more than $35. And so what central banks would do is it would be on their ledger as it's worth $35. But if there was ever an issue, they'd go, well, we got the gold back there and it's not worth $35. We all know the real value of it. They don't want to admit it because they want to print their crap notes, their fiat currency notes. But when push came to shove and another central bank was questioning their solvency, or a government, they would sit back and go, no, look, we got the gold. Okay, fine, we got the gold. It's like the end of the Wizard of Oz. It's there. It's worth more than $35. And everyone would go, oh, okay, they'd be appeased. And everything would mellow out, right? Okay, now it's becoming very, very serious. And I did a video the other day about central bank buying gold. They are buying gold at a fever pitch right now. They're trying as much as they can to go and buy it. And actually, I'll see if I can remember a story of Chinese gold buying down in Southern California. So what we have here is the head of the Dutch central bank, the governor of the Dutch central bank, saying, we already know that in the end, all these solvency crises can be solved by just changing the price of gold from $35 to not only what it's worth now. What he's not telling you is we can make it any price. And if you don't think that's possible, let me hearken you back to an executive order that was put out before the U.S. In 1933, where they said we're calling back all the gold and we're going to make use of certain types of gold illegal. And it was a lot less than $35. And what I want to say was $18 and change. And what they did is they figured that about only 10% of the nation was honest. They went, you ain't getting my gold, and turned it in and got paid the $18.35 because that's what it was worth back then, right? And then what happened is they immediately revalued it. And not immediately, about 6 months later, maybe a year. I don't remember. Sorry, I don't got these fancy notes. I just go off my memory. They revalued the price. So everybody that turned in their gold and got paid, they got paid 18 or whatever dollars an ounce, they were robbed of the future potential of gold. And you are going to see that happen, honestly, in the future. Again, you're holding something, an ounce of gold, that one day a government will turn around and go, you know what, it's not worth this. Now, we've seen central banks like Russia and China come out in the past, about half a decade ago, and say that they feel that gold is so undervalued and that they're buying it. They've given all the hints, and they've been buying up gold in droves. What blows me away is how people have no concept of history since they have no concept of history, truly, because this kind of history wasn't taught in your books. Because a magician can't wow you or surprise you or con you if he teaches you how the trick works, right? And so that's what central banks have been doing. And wealthy people, they run newspapers, they own the printing presses for textbooks, and they only let certain things in there. As a matter of fact, I know somebody that their entire job, they worked for the Koch brothers, and their job was to go up and buy up economics departments all around the country, and they had to review the things in the economics books, and they would take out the things that they didn't want in there. It makes you think, right? Total perception change of how money is created. That's why so many people that have finished large colleges, gotten their degree in economics, have told me that this channel has completely blown their mind because they've never experienced that kind of truth, that level of truth. They only know what they've been taught. So right now, there is a governor of a central bank, the Dutch central bank, and I'm Dutch. I thank him for that truth, even though, honestly, he's corrupt, and he just knows, hey, we can screw with your guys' money all we want. If we fail and it goes to nothing, we don't give a crap about you. We've got the gold, and all we got to do is say it's worth more. And I think you're going to see world governments all around agree that gold is worth much more. There are estimates out there putting it at $50,000, anywhere between 5 and 50. I've seen the gamut, but that 50,000 is the highest. And they said they could easily revalue it to $50,000, and nobody would care. And I'm going to tell you why I know nobody would care. Nobody would care, because everyone I work with at work, when I tried to get everybody at work to buy Bitcoin at $45, I said, let's all just go in, let's start accounts together, and we'll just buy it at 45 bucks. I didn't do it because they made fun of me, and I was an idiot for listening to idiots. Honestly, think about that. I was an idiot for listening to idiots. I bought it at 500. None of them care what the price is. They all tell me it's a scam. They don't care that it's worth 20 grand. They don't care that it was worth 60 grand. As a matter of fact, a bunch of them bought it at 60 grand. Now they think it's a scam because it's worth 20. Oh, you gotta love it. But that's the truth. Nobody's gonna care if gold goes to $50,000 if they don't own it. You wanna know why? Because of rhodium. Rhodium went from, what was it, $4,000 or $5,000 an ounce in 2019. I don't remember the numbers. Tell me in the comment section, let me know. And it spiked to, I wanna say $28,000 on one exchange in 2020 or 2021. I don't remember. And now it's crashed. Everyone talks about how it's crashed to $15,000, $14,000 or $15,000. Nobody here cares about rhodium. Why? Because you don't own it. So you didn't see the potential profit or the actual profit, just like gold. You've been given a gift. A central bank governor just came out and said, all we gotta do is revalue gold. All this thing can come crashing down. They don't care about your pension. They don't care about your savings account. They don't care about your house. They care about them. They're buying gold. Why aren't you? Guys, I'm gonna put some links to companies that I work with that I appreciate, their affiliate links that I can trust, and I know that they will send you the gold or they will store the gold properly because I'm using them. I'll put it underneath. You don't have to use it, but please consider going and buying some gold. And I love silver more than gold. Don't get me wrong. I love it more than gold, but gold's gonna be less volatile, all right, in crazy times. Don't put everything in it. Don't do that. That's financial advice. Diversify. Do not go and put all of your eggs in one basket because one day you're gonna drop that basket and you don't want them breaking everywhere. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.